Primetime partiers, it's primetime party time. Welcome back, friends of the show. If you're a first timer, we are a live digital radio show and podcast covering all things primetime, past and present. That means you'll get the lowdown on media, entertainment, skits, and soon-to-be virtual performances tonight, every Monday at 9 p.m. at ptptshow.com and on your time, wherever you stream podcasts. I'm Tracy, and here's your other host.
Hey, I'm Daniel. Great intro, Tracy. Thank you so much. And tonight, we have a couple guest stars with us. We have our series composer that you just heard, Justin. Welcome.
Thank you guys very much. That sounds like a wonderful introduction, and it's awesome to hear it and participate with this all live and put together.
And our longtime friend, Kyle. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And tonight, like Tracy said, we are going to get performative. What are we doing tonight?
We are going to have a live kind of improv music sesh with Kyle and Justin, where we play a section called Can You Still Play That? Where we take musical instruments we used to play back in the day and play them now and see how far we've come or how far we've fallen back.
It's about to be a middle school band room in here.
Yes.
The one fun part, though, is we're not actually playing the instruments we grew up on. Or I guess, Tracy, you are. Justin and I, though, we're swapping.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
so what
we
you
traded places for tonight.
I am playing the trumpet, and Justin is playing the saxophone, and we both grew up, respectively, playing those instruments.
And yeah, I will flute as much as I can, and if not, I have many other instruments that I am more comfortable with. I can always pull out if they're more helpful at the time, unless it's just sounding like a dead, bird. Last legs. Just puffing for air is sometimes what the flute sounds like when you haven't played it for 15 years. But before we get into our fun music segment, we are going to do a toast and a roast. So, Daniel, what is your toast and roast for this week?
Ooh, what am I toasting? I don't know how to do these toasts without giving some sort of advertisement almost. But I will say my Sweetwater rep called me today just to check in on my latest purchase, which was months and months ago. And so, yeah, you know what? I'll do a free advertisement for them because that's nice. That's the kind of advertising that we like. They're not, it's not unneeded products. It's just brand recognition. It's just nice stuff. It's just a nice, hey, how you doing? What kind of music you create in these days? What kind of sounds you create in these days? Rob's a great rep, and toast to him tonight. And for my roast, I don't know. Probably Google Meets. Sometimes, online video software just doesn't quite work out all the time. And this week for me, it's the Google Meets platform. But that is my toast and roast for the week. What about you, Tracy?
Hopefully we're not karmically punished for roasting Google Meets
I shouldn't
while
say
using
anything.
it. We'll
we are still using Google Meets tonight, so maybe.
Yeah, I was also questioning whether I'd get smited down today in my car looking at the sky. So, we're just putting all the good vibes in one direction. But my toast for this week, to take everyone along my virtual jury duty journey, is that I do not have to serve. So it's finally come to a close.
Oh,
I know. There's been a lot of built up anticipation, will she serve, will she won't. Many are invested.
I'm sure anyone looking for more information on virtual jury duty in a pandemic is disappointed in this, but it's nice to know that if you didn't want to serve, you have been dismissed.
No, can't say, we don't have the time at home to serve, but apparently was not needed this time. I think this is about my fourth summons, so I'd really like to be, not asked in the future, but we'll see. And I also joined my literary journalism alumni Slack today, which was fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I got to see a lot of familiar names pop up, and they're like, introduce yourself, which always feels uncomfortable because then you have to talk about what you've been doing since college. And I wrote all of mine, and it was very much I'm doing the same thing, but more 2.0, because I was I wrote and did photography for the university paper, and then I kind of freelanced for some online music publications for album reviews, and then I did the radio, and now I work in marketing, but I pretty much do the writing still. And I just started doing an online radio show with my friend. And then I still play music. So if you remember me, still here. So it was still fun, though, getting to read other people's excerpt. And there's a lot of very accomplished people in my alumni where I'm like, whew, you guys are making stuff happen. So that was cool to see. Nice and inspiring. So those are my toasts. I don't have too much of a roast except for the driving in the hail today / just the hail and lightning and high winds. I'll say as a weenie Californian, I was like, but I want to go for my run, which, as discussed with Kyle, some people just, power through and they're like, you know what? You still run in the wind. You get out there.
Helps build your fortitude, Adds an extra element to your runs. You have to dodge falling branches and pine cones. It's fun.
That's like a nice little nudge to UCI, because there used to be these big signs that said beware of falling branches in our parks, because there would be like a seasonal high wind every this time of year, and there was always a kid that got hit by a branch in Aldrich Park. So that was an issue. But yeah, I do not paint with the colors of the wind on my run, so I did not go. I stayed inside today, but maybe tomorrow. We'll see. My dog did plenty of playing in the weather for me today, which means I kind of did too. So there we go. Little bit of participation there. But yeah, Daniel, are we ready to get into it?
Yeah, we could be. Kyle, Justin, do you guys have any toasts and roasts today? I'm going to check something real fast on our stream end.
Well, so yeah, roast, jury talk, because anytime I talk about the anything jury related, a notice tends to show up. So thank you, Tracy.
Just trying to spread the love.
I thought I got through 2020 unscathed. I was going to get into 2021 smooth sailing, but here I am, 25 days in, jury summons on its way.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably get it next week.
On the flip side, I'm going to go with toast for following Daniel's advertisement approach. Instapot, I got one for Christmas, and it has been a great way to make dinner. I made pork tenderloin last night, and I've done chickens and rices. Rices are done in about 15 minutes. So, we're not sponsored. I'm also a guest, so I have nothing to do with this. But Instapots, ladies and gentlemen, they're wonderful.
I love it. That's a great toast.
Many people love the Instapot. And also, we should note that Kyle and Justin should clearly have their own, bachelor pad cooking Instagram. We've been trying to pitch names for this for a while, because they just make these elaborate dinners.
Oh, yeah, these two
whole roasted chickens and, house-made breads, and half the time we catch up with them, Kyle's cooking up oh yeah, cookies ready to go into the oven. So y'all are getting pretty crafty in these days, especially in the kitchen.
We've gotten very domestic.
It's the only thing to do. This year's been so crazy. Bread was my saving grace, That pizza dough. The pizza dough was good. It was a good day.
Exactly.
Everything else just kind of sucks. So.
Also, can I interject with a question in my toast and roast?
Sure.
When do I open this beer and actually do the toast?
Well, you could do that now, because we can enter a segment called Beer of the Week. So what you drinking, Kyle? Tell us about it.
I see how this works now. Okay. So we're drinking the Car Camper Hazy Pale Ale. It is by Great Divide Brewing in Denver, Colorado. I went there once for a hot minute. It's it's an interesting pale ale. I don't know. What do you guys think about taste?
Let's try this out. The Car Camper, the beer to fuel your next adventure.
This artwork is beautiful, by the way. Definitely National Park inspired. Actually, no, not National Park. I'd say National Forest inspired.
It looks a lot like those retro posters.
Yeah.
Or the kind of vintage, Joshua Tree poster or the Yosemite. So whoever that artist is, it reminds me of that. But this brewery's website is extremely beautiful. Even if the beer was not delicious, which I'm sure it is, the website is extremely eye-catching. So we do like that. But what are the flavor notes that you get from this beer?
I'm getting maybe pineapple.
Ooh.
There's like a fruit sweet base, I think. Maybe a bit of citrus, but it's very hoppy for a pale ale. It is a hazy pale ale though, so they tend to be a bit on the hoppier side. But it's almost overpowering the rest of the flavor profiles.
All right, so this one is, if you like really hoppy beers that are also
good one.
fruity, then that is a good fit for you.
According
So
to
that's good to know.
according
what
to
were you
the
going to say, Daniel?
website, we should be getting hints of cantaloupe, mango, and coconut.
Well, there
Maybe
we
it's
go.
the mango that I'm confusing with pineapple.
I think I'm getting the mango, yeah.
Can you say those fruits one more time?
Of course. We're getting cantaloupe, mango, and coconut, and it should finish evenly with a pleasant mouthfeel.
There's a mouthfeel.
Yeah, I take issue with the phrase mouthfeel.
That's a fun term.
I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to get out of that, but cantaloupe and mango and coconut, I could see how you could get pineapple in there because it's just kind of saying you're getting like a sweet yet tart fruit taste.
But I'm not
tasting
any coconut though.
That's the interesting one because usually coconut in beers is a bit like the main flavor you'll get, like when you get a coconut porter or something.
Yeah.
But maybe this one's a little subtle because I don't think I've had coconut flavored beer in like a lighter beer. I think it's always been in like a port or stout.
Yeah.
Beer. So that would be different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The one brewery by us had a really, really good coconut beer. Barley Forge, something like that.
Oh, I haven't been there in a long, long time.
And you never will because they're closed now.
Oh,
that's so sad.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The Rona got him.
No, they were actually closing anyways.
So
it was
very
like
sad
rent
twist
problems
to
or
it.
something like that. But
Aw, that's too bad. That was a favorite spot from college. Well, hopefully the people brewing the beer are able to do another project soon.
And another brewery took its place, so
Oh really?
Yeah. Like the phoenix from the ashes. That's my poetry for today.
The phoenix from the ashes, capitalism in America.
Yeah. That's gonna be real applicable after last year.
Yeah, that's oof. That is rough.
Yep.
That's rough. Well, luckily this beer is doing well.
They're doing
And
just fine.
yeah. I liked how NPR smooth that was. They're doing
thank you.
just
Thank you.
fine.
Just fine. Although no, this makes me want to, go spend my life savings on a pop-up Volkswagen camper van and go drive through the mountains of California.
There are a lot of people. I remember reading an article that was saying there was an uptick in like motorhomes and camper vans during the pandemic. Since a lot of people are like, I'm going to take this remote life and just see the country.
I have seen it with my own two eyes.
That's funny. My assumption because I saw the uptick too of all of that, and I thought maybe these are all people who lost their jobs and like we can't afford rent anymore, and it's cheaper to live in the van.
There is that aspect too. I think there's the combo of like steady people who are trying to still travel, and then the other people who are we're gonna try to upset the unfortunate comings of this pandemic. So either way, it seems like there's gonna be a new generation of like vagabonds.
I'm game for it.
I am too. Them. I'm into it. So.
I hope they caravan through Southern California.
It'll be like the 60s again, but hopefully just like without, the scary Manson people.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully it's all just happy.
just good vibes,
It's like nice ones. So as we get into our good vibes, we can start prepping for our musical happy hour. So we're all going to try to play these instruments and see, can you still play that? So, yeah, Daniel, how should we get this going?
Okay, so this is the question, right? This is fun because to remind everybody, Tracy, you played flute for how many years?
I played it for 3 years, and then, I whipped it out this week a little bit.
Okay.
So that's
all right. So we
so
got
we're
a little
going
bit of
on.
3
going on
years.
there.
Were those the 3 years in middle school?
Yep, the only ones. Did not learn it for any other reason than middle school band.
But aside from that, you do know music. You're a musician. So
I do play C instruments, yeah. So that
flute
is a little bit of a, I don't know.
This is where you guys might have to walk me through things. I don't know what a C instrument is.
I play guitar and piano, and I used to play the ukulele, and I sing. So that'll take that out of the way. And then the flute is technically a C instrument as well. So
very good.
I only play those.
And so,
Tracy, what is a C instrument?
I
ask for audience members who may not know.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is a question. Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Tracy.
All right. I'm going to just read off the dictionary definition of C instrument. Many instruments are C instruments. For example, piano, organ, oboe, violin, guitar, and trombone. A pianist who sees a written C will play a note that the violinist would agree is a C. That's mostly, though, just saying that you play in the regular clef and you don't do bass clef. I think that's the best way to explain it to other people, because in other instruments you would use a different sheet music orderings. Mm-hmm. So instead of seeing do you have a better explanation, Justin, since you come from more of a more knowledgeable background in music?
Maybe a simplification of that a little bit. So if you're familiar with a piano, right, you've got all the white and black keys. The key of C is only the white keys. And any other instrument that is a C instrument, its natural scale that is set up for, that is built for, is within the key of C. So like Tracy said, she's exactly right. The pianist sees a written C on the sheet music. She plays a C on the piano. And like a violin or the flute or the trombone, they see a written C on the sheet music and they play a C, it's going to be the same note. That's all. That's my definition.
That does make more sense, though. I like the white keys versus the flat keys explanation. That lets us visualize.
Yeah, a little bit of a visual there.
With these extremely technical terms that I didn't mean to randomly drop in our laps.
No, this actually helped me. I have a piano right in front of me, and I don't know the difference between black and white keys. So this was very informative to me personally. Thanks to Justin, who is a professional musician, has a degree in music practice, performance, has taken many music theory classes, has a degree in music performance, but is today playing an instrument that, have you ever played the saxophone before?
I've never played a saxophone before.
That's exciting.
Woo!
But it'll be interesting.
And so, but you are a professional trumpet player. Now, Kyle is on trumpet today. Kyle, have you ever played a trumpet before?
Okay, kind of, because I did play the euphonium in marching band, which was, all right, so I did...
I'm sorry.
I did. Yeah, everyone. Anyways, so I did music from 6th grade all the way through senior year of high school, so solid 7 years. I mostly played the saxophone, but my last year, I decided to change it up during marching band season. I was in marching band, and I played the euphonium, which is literally, it's like a trumpet, but like, it's probably 5 times the size of a trumpet, and you just kind of like hold it out in front of you. But that's kind of helped me with, I guess, like embouchure and stuff, because it's a lot of the mechanics are very similar between the two instruments. They're both brass instruments. They both utilize a similar embouchure, so like a similar way of like actually playing the instrument. And Justin and I were, kind of chatting before this, and a lot of like the way you actually play the notes, there's still only 3 valves on the instrument, just like the euphonium. So it's very similar in a lot of respects. But yes, Justin and I are definitely playing a subcategory of this game called "Can you play that instrument?" I suppose you remember how to play that instrument.
Justin, how many years on the trumpet do you have on Kyle? Like, how many more years then? How long have you been training trumpet?
Years?
Yeah.
7 years on Kyle.
Wow.
That's a solid amount.
Maybe 6, might be 6.
Is that the difference between? Is that like the difference between when I played the euphonium?
Yeah, I'm thinking from like when you played euphonium through high school and you finished at the end of high school, and I kept studying through my college years and stuff. I think that's been 6 or 7 years.
That makes
All right,
sense.
Kyle, you got some catching up to do tonight.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can
and
do
every
it.
time you say euphonium, you make me think of like the periodic table. I just can't get past that, even though I understand it's a name. But that's why it makes me laugh. It's the element of awesome sound.
For all of our audience members listening who do not know visually the difference between the two, imagine like Steve Jobs is a trumpet and Arnold Schwarzenegger is a euphonium. And that's kind of like the comparison we're dealing with here. So
it's a good analogy, since we did get to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger when we were middle school band.
Oh, that's right.
Jazz
I forgot about that. He showed up.
Yeah, he came to visit.
Yeah, Daniel showed up too.
Yeah, Daniel did show up.
I was there,
even though he was not in jazz band.
I was there that day. I'm in the picture. Yes. I played trumpet for 4 years. Yes.
Schwarzenegger came and he was there.
I was there. I'm right there.
To show up, and it's called Picture Day with the Governor.
Yeah.
It should be noted too that Kyle and I started playing guitar at the same time. I don't know how long you stood with it, but I think both started taking lessons in 5th grade or maybe earlier. I just know that we had to play in front of the entire elementary school at some point, and I remember being very shy about that as a child.
We played Happy Trails 5th grade in front of probably like 200 or 300 students.
Yeah. So that was a big deal. That was the beginning of like, you're gonna get past the stage fright. You're gonna do it now.
Exactly. Yep. And now here we are.
Here we are, just playing for fun on the internet for whoever's listening live and whoever listens later. So yeah, we played guitar together, and then that's pretty much it. I dropped out of band. Well, I didn't drop out. I just completed my band journey at the end of middle school, and then I just stuck with the guitar and singing, and then tried to play the piano, and I do that sometimes, but no training in that department, so it's very eclectic.
What a great adjective.
My mom just says I play the piano like a guitar, so I'm more percussion-y with it than I should. And I'm like, you know what? There are many people who do that and are very successful recording artists, so I will take that criticism and I'll take it as a compliment. It's like, fine. I was like, I hear what I want to hear. No, it's all good. So yeah, how should we start? Did we want to play over the theme song to begin with and improvise that, or do we want to just see what we start out with?
Well,
what's our starting point?
If we're back in band practice, what was the one thing we had to do every time we walked into a middle school band room?
Ooh, we had to play a scale.
Not going to, no performances if you cannot play a scale. Can we play scales on these instruments?
Can we play scales? That is the ultimate question. Let's see. I mean, we originally started. We originally started on a B flat scale.
Oh, wait, really?
Are we gonna do a B flat scale?
Is that the?
Let's do it. Let's do B flat.
B flat scale.
All right, I just have one question for Kyle.
Oh yeah.
This
He's shaking his head.
instrument is in E
He's
flat,
shaking his
right?
head in the studio. Does not want this question. What is the question?
For Kyle, the question is, what is the tonal bass key for this alto saxophone I'm holding?
Is that a fancy way of saying what buttons should you press?
Yep. That's exactly what I'm asking.
We like to simplify these questions down.
I love simplification.
Okay. So I think it's, and this is me digging back like 6 or 7 years. I want to say, so you have your 6 fingers. I want to say it's the very top key and top button, I should say. And then it is this hand, like where your bottom hand, your index finger, kind of in between your index finger and then up to your thumb. There's like a little series of 3 buttons along the saxophone. You want to hit the very bottom one with kind of like that L shape between your index finger and the top of your thumb.
So I have the top button in my left hand and the L button in my right hand.
Yeah, the very bottom of the series of 3 buttons.
There are 4.
There should be 3.
All right, we'll find out which one it is. I can always try another one. We'll figure this out. All right, so I'll start there. So that's a B flat. I know what a C is because I can see the fingering chart I have on my screen here. Is an E? Do I just use for an E flat? Do I just use that same L button to lower the E flat?
No.
Okay.
Kyle's getting put in hot water right now. Can you?
I can just experiment. We can just experiment with this.
Answer these questions from years and years ago about your instrument.
Maybe it is the same button.
We'll try it. We'll find out.
I really like Kyle looking pensive, and for those who cannot see us on our calls, which is everyone, he has his cat as his background, so it just kind of looks like you're like, and then the cat is like staring into you pensively. So it's a nice visual. It's pretty.
Exactly. I'm doing it for you guys.
Definitely entertains me quite a bit. So all right. Well, we can start suiting up, see if this will make noise today.
All right, here's my 5th note on a saxophone. I've never
put.
Are we playing a B flat? Is that B flat?
Yeah. I'm trying to see how to tune this bad boy.
Hey, have you used a reeded instrument before? At all? It's coming through.
Ooh, Justin, for a first time.
For a first time, that's
good.
wild. Oh, the trumpet is out too. Can we do it?
Kyle, do you know what buttons to push?
Is it
Oh. Oof.
2, 3?
It's 0 buttons.
A B flat? Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
B flat
Yeah.
is gonna
Oh,
have
you're just
0
like,
buttons.
boo, you're
I
free.
just don't have to do anything.
That's
Well,
that's
you
nice.
know, it's one way to put it.
All right, I gotta remember the side button.
Sounding pretty.
This is so nostalgic. Let's hear it.
Kyle, I don't know if that button's doing what it should be doing.
Well, I haven't played anything. I didn't want to cut you guys off.
Oh no, it might be flat.
All right, so it's literally just nothing. I play nothing.
You just play nothing.
No buttons are pushed down on a trumpet for a B flat. Perfect.
That's
Ah.
it.
Flat right there.
You did it.
That's great.
All right. Oh, I found something that might tell me what I'm doing. Kyle, you're right. I just can't play this instrument. Of course you're right. You played this instrument. All right.
Well, it's your first day, so you should feel bad.
We're getting exclusive
What Mr.
on the
McGee would've
radio.
said.
Justin Wright playing the sax. You heard it here first, guys.
There we
I think
go.
I'm really sharp. So we're
Yeah.
gonna pull this off.
That's what I sounded like the first time I ever tried.
Here we go. Here we go.
Hey! It's just
There
a
we go.
little sharp, but I hear it.
Yeah, you're playing Carlsbad Train like really great.
Yeah, when the coaster rolls through, we'll see if we're like on pitch.
Yeah, right?
We can be like
Be
the
the tuner.
French guy that invented electronic music, who the first recordings were of the trains. That's a fun fact.
That's a very fun fact.
I forget the name of that guy, but I remember having to learn that for a digital music course.
It's on
Like,
Google, I'm sure.
It is on Google. I can fact check myself live on the air. So,
All right. Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna tune? Are we all gonna play together and tune?
we are going to try.
All right. Daniel, you want to count us in?
Yeah, we just doing on the one?
On the one.
On the one?
All right. And 1, 2, 3.
I think it's flat.
I'm just it's the wrong note, man. For me.
I don't know, man.
It's the wrong note for me.
Sounds okay.
It's just so sharp.
I
Also,
keep having to change.
disclaimer, I don't know how to make a saxophone embouchure, so.
Is that the one? So like the trumpet, you have to do the like, but with the saxophone, isn't it like the tighter lipped, like the, or do I have that wrong?
So Justin and I
It's
were
so
talking about it. It's like with the saxophone, it's a lot more action with like your bottom lips. Because you almost have to like use your bottom lip to pinch the mouthpiece and then cause almost force the reed to vibrate. With the trumpet though, it's actually a lot more of like the corners of your mouth they do all the work, because you're kind of like scrunching up your face, and then you're like creating a vibration that causes the instrument to play music.
So like with the saxophone, it's kind of more like making like a or like a T, because you're kind of like doing like.
It's more like literally like, and trumpet, or in Mr. Justin here might correct me, but with like the trumpet, you're like almost like kind of putting your lips together and like buzzing them almost. But then with the saxophone, you're not really doing that much with your lips. You're more so just like forming a seal around the reed so that it vibrates as you blow air.
So you're more of like doing a suction on the saxophone.
Kind of, but you are blowing forward. Like you're not breathing in. You don't run a choking hazard from the reed.
It's more like you're blowing out, but you're making the air going in also being in a tight space, so that it's air isn't getting out the sides. So you're almost just like making that as small as possible while also still being the output of the air.
What I've learned in the past 30 seconds is that instead of your lips vibrating, my air is making a reed vibrate. But I don't know how to control that. So this is exciting.
Yeah.
All right. Should we play a B flat one more time, and then we'll try to play a scale?
A scale? Yes. Let's do a B flat once more with feeling. And 1, 2, 3. That sounded a lot better.
guys are so much
Sounded like
closer
something.
to snatching first chair off an unsuspecting 13-year-old.
Woo.
Oh, he's gonna be so pissed.
Off an unsuspecting 13-year-old. I'm just gonna bust into middle school during COVID and be like, "That's my chair."
I duel you. Chair number 1.
I remember someone dueling me for my chair and me being like, "Do you just want it? I don't care about being second chair. I just got here, but I don't want to be here."
Yeah,
I get
no,
an A either way.
yeah, that happened to me
like-
too. Yeah.
I don't see the difference between 2 and 3. I'm not
Kid.
trying to be in the back, but
Yeah.
meh. And I just wasn't competitive with the flute because it wasn't my first love instrument. So I remember I still had to complete the duel though. It was like you can't just give someone your seat. You still have to duel. And I remember the girl messed up when she was dueling me and she was like, "Fuck." And then when it was my turn to play, I just didn't play. And she was like, "What?" I was like, "Just take the damn seat."
Wait, it's
You gotta
Clearly,
want it. She wanted
means
it.
a lot to you.
Yeah.
like sometimes because music directors would allow kids to duel for those spots. They'd be like, they're like, "Oh, you want to like." It was interesting. Yeah, they were like actively,
Pitting us against each
promoting.
other.
Yeah, exactly. Creating
It was-
a mildly toxic environment.
People like to think that
Oh,
music was all like, "I like to teach the kids to sing," but really it was like, no, this is more like duel of who is getting first chair.
dude,
And
and then that gets to the real world, and people are like, "Oh, all these pop stars and music, it's so wonderful, must be so easy. What a life." No, man. Like, if you lose first chair in the real world, you don't eat dinner for like a month.
I got that advice too. My first interview for journalism was the head of our jazz department.
Oof.
And he's really awesome. I loved him. Like I covered any of his performances and we were pen pals. I was closer to him than some of my professors, which was maybe not the most strategic move as a student, but we got each other. But yeah, he was a buddy. Yeah, that was a huge college thing. Like, yeah. And he also spent a lot of time in Japan, so we just like to shoot it. But I remember he was like, "If you're gonna pursue music, do it young, because it isn't as important when you're hungry. It's like as you get older, you got to be more comfortable." And I was like, good advice. I mean, he was like a professor / pianist, so I'm also like, I mean, you made it happen, but I also get what you mean. Like, it's living the gig to gig life would not be super sustainable, especially not right now. So
Yeah.
it's difficult, but
It's a-
there are
rough.
other areas you can use, but performance only is, I think, tough when you
Yep.
yeah.
Especially COVID.
Yes, that
The
was
whole world COVID, like, man, it sucks. And then teaching, like, these poor high school, I mean, we're talking like joking about stealing the seat from a 13-year-old, but no, these high school kids and middle schoolers, like, they're on Zoom, like all day for work. And I know a lot of people right now are in like the same boat. But can you imagine being like, all of our listeners right now, like, think back to when you were 15, right? And you spent from 8 a.m. to like 2:30, 3 p.m. at school all day with your friends. It's like your break away from home, your break from your parents, your siblings. But now you gotta sit your little ass down in a chair in a small little bedroom somewhere on a computer with a shitty Wi-Fi network connection and try to learn things.
No, that seems pretty difficult. And I also don't really know how they would do this virtually. It just
They
seems
don't.
like
It's awful. You
it
can't.
wouldn't sound as nice and
Doesn't work
yeah.
as well. It kind of works, but it's nothing. It's nothing like learning in person. Anyways,
No.
don't mean to like.
And you
hijack.
don't get to ditch school for music because we used to do that all the time.
Oh,
It
we
was
should go to
like
Disneyland.
go Disneyland, all the theme parks. I like didn't do math for like a semester because I recorded an album for some kid
Nice.
with like
Nice.
a few other band students. We just did it in the band room with some producer person. But yeah, I didn't have to go to like my last 2 classes for like, I don't know, a while. I remember it was definitely like this will come to haunt you later, Tracy, not doing this math for a while. You will maybe have a rough time with that. But it was fun, and I didn't mind at the time. And also,
And clearly, it worked out.
It worked out. I didn't have to use math later on. I just had to use Excel. So we all fall into
But you
it.
can't
so.
count the royalties you're supposed to be getting from that album.
Yeah, I feel like it was just for a child.
I hope so.
I don't really know what it was for. You know, I was 13, so I didn't ask questions. I feel like I was like, I get to not go to math and play guitar. No more information needed. This sounds great.
Easy,
Sounds
son.
like rock and roll.
Easy.
So, yeah, that was fun stuff. And so, yeah, we do shout out to the children right now. We are not getting to do Band as We Did, but we're going to relive Band as We Did right now over Zoom and see how our scale sounds. So let's try a B flat scale. See how much we're gonna, hurt our own ears and our listeners' ears by doing this, but
You're with us.
we're gonna give it a try. So let's go. Ready and begin. 1, 2, 3.
She's going back. Yeah.
Well,
Disneyland.
I tried to do the arpeggio. I don't remember it.
Tracy, I think you won.
yeah, clearly Tracy remembers how to play an instrument.
Only the B flat scale. I tried to do just the simplest, like. I can't do any more of that for copyright reasons. Sorry. But yeah, I don't know how to do much. I don't know how I would play anything we used to play. That's something where I'm like, I used to have to trill on this bad boy. I don't think I could do that anymore. No. And I used to play the piccolo, and that one shelved. I think that was a rental, so I don't have to pierce anyone's ears with the highest, most annoying instrument that I clearly look back and was like, you only played this for the attention. Like, you wanted a solo, and you're like, I'm going to invent a new part in order to get this. So nice to go back to those competitive streaks that we had in band. I like to pretend it was everyone else, but guilty a little bit. But if I tried to play anything other than a B flat scale, I don't think I could do it. I only somewhat remember it. And yeah.
That is unfortunate because we have Coco69 in the chat saying 1, Mr. McGee for life, and 2. Do you guys remember the good old days of jazz band, which we slightly referenced, but if Justin does want to get Charlie Parker with that new instrument of his, if Kyle wants to get a little dizzy with that instrument of his, I don't know any flute players personally in the jazz scene, but
no, not a lot of jazz flute outside of Anchorman. No, there's probably actual flute. There's a few. It's just not as super common, but it's out there.
But with Disneyland
the guitar
off the table due to circumstances and the fact that, scales are tough, is there anything else we think that we might be able to accomplish with the instruments in hand? Or any royalty-free requests?
I know. After we're done with the hour and we can broadcast, we can, just jam for free and see what we can do with things we remember. I can still play Take 5 on the guitar because I think it was just like I had to play it for so many times, so long, my fingers would just like deteriorate over time, more so than the hand sanitizer has now. So that I can usually do. You can try to do your solos again. But what can we do now? We could riff off the theme song.
We could. We could lay down a new intro horn track, yeah.
But Daniel, I've yet to hear your MIDI keyboard.
Oh, you want to hear my MIDI keyboard?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're sitting here. I'm excited to hear this little instrument of yours. So would you say it's a keyboard on a Nintendo?
We could do that. We could do that. I got a couple fun things in front of me. I don't have anything from the band days. I have the Casio SK200, which is a sampling keyboard. And if I can't play a scale on it, it would be rather disappointing. But I also don't know where to start, so maybe I actually can't. Maybe I don't get to go to Disneyland. We had a couple other drum machines here.
Everyone gets to go to Disneyland.
I hope so. I really hope so.
In the metaphorical sense, we can all go to Disneyland.
In the metaphorical sense, we should all be able to go to Disneyland.
And get vaccinated.
Just please.
Step one.
Yeah,
exactly.
Very true.
Get into your vaccination tier. Step 2, Disneyland.
But I mean, this thing does have a couple fun sets on it. We can play trumpet. We can play trumpet right now. Want me to go back down, or do I get to go to Disneyland? Oh, I'll try to match flutes on this bad boy. Oh wait, no, I need a.
I did another.
Is that the C? Did I find the C?
You did.
Wow, look at that flute. It's a pretty good flute for like consumer gear in the mid '80s. You want to match trumpet?
I keep yelling trumpet, trying to get Justin.
Trumpet.
Trumpet. Hey, trumpet.
Hey, trumpet.
How do I play a C trumpet?
No buttons.
That's the same as a B flat.
Oh, you mean like a concert C, like a piano C?
Yes.
Maybe I don't understand my own question. So yes.
I think the answer is yes. You're gonna play 1 and 3. So flip everybody off. You're good. Let's see, do I know what a C is? I can play a C.
No, the other way.
Yeah, I don't want to play some Hey Jude. No, that's not Hey Jude. What song is that?
Peter Gunn. That was Peter Gunn.
Peter Gunn. Yeah.
Wait, no, it wasn't. Peter Gunn was bum da bum ba da da dum.
No, that was the
James Bond.
theme song.
Peter Gunn is how does Peter Gunn go? That's it.
No.
That's you could overlay that on the TV intro and it'd just be the same thing.
Perfect. The thing is, we could never get in trouble for playing songs because you will not be able to tell that they sound.
That's a good point. I know we're getting
the YouTube algorithm will not understand what we're doing.
We are getting a request for the for Oi Como Va, which I will say, my most proudest moment in all of band was when in jazz band the other day I showed up. Thank you very much. Picture day and this day. The only thing I ever practiced was the Oi Como Va solo because I thought it was so fun. And our first trumpet was out one morning. We used to play on Friday mornings as people were coming up to the, I don't know what a half circle that you pull into a school is called, but
a half circle.
A half circle.
Like
the roundabout.
Drop off.
Yeah. We
Any of
pretty
those.
much played for the drop-off crowd, like the people who stayed with their Starbucks a little bit longer.
Yes.
Or I guess it was like a
7 a.m.
Yeah, because we had to be there like before 7. Yeah, that was a rough
early
time.
day. Yeah,
I think it was
early every other Fridays.
Yeah, that was early.
But yeah,
But yeah, we played Oyo Como Va. We played on
Hey Jude.
Broadway. Hey Jude.
On Broadway.
What was another? We played Fly Me to the Moon.
Did we really?
We did Sea Jam Blues.
Yeah.
I don't know what that one is. I
I
wasn't there
made
that day.
everyone learn this song called Soulful Strut, and everyone hated me for it.
You had that much pool in jazz band?
You know what? I looked back and I was like, I was a ballsy teenager. I was like, I'm gonna pitch sheet music. I look back, I was like, oh, I was not trying to be popular.
I don't know, Tracy. I think you got to the 8th grade with band and you were like, how much better can this get? So you quit.
Right on top.
She's like, I'm the kid.
I already made it. She's like, I'm out of here.
I was like, the other band director will not let me do this. That was my thought. No, I don't know. I think I was tired of the mornings, to be honest. I am such a night owl that I was like, I need to get sleep. I'm gonna not do this next year. I kind of regretted it though, because jazz band seemed fun in high school.
Yeah, but the lame part with it was having to be there at 6:45 in the morning with a downbeat, and then we'd go through school and you'd finish your school day, right? Because jazz band was a 0 period. And you'd have like 40 minutes, maybe a half hour, and then you'd marching practice till like 9 o'clock at night.
See, that was a deal breaker for me. I wasn't down to do marching band. First of all, like I would have tripped.
14-hour days. That's illegal for people to have to work for 14 hours a day. Yeah, I had to go to school for 14 hours a day.
Our labor in band was not allowed. There was many things. I talked to one of our fellow friends about the baton throwings, and she was like, Tracy, trigger warning, the shreds of wood, I still remember them like falling in my hair when the batons would go in, which is why I still know my scales, muscle memory, and it's also integrated because, like, don't you play a wrong note, they're gonna ask who did it. You're gonna have to duck so that you don't get hit by that baton. Not like really. They went far enough to where they never like hit us, but like they left shreds.
I guess trauma's a tool.
You know what? We're all very successful from it. We continued our music careers. But yeah, it was maybe, there was a reason why we were good. It's almost like we were preparing for the Olympics. But yeah, it was a time. But yeah, we pulled some long hours in band, so that definitely is a factor.
Well, we got to go to Disneyland, so
we did a lot of fun stuff. The trade-off was good. Like in jazz band too, we got to play at the convention center, Seaport Village, Mr. Taco.
Oh, I miss those days for sure.
Random
the firewood pizza.
Yeah, the retirement homes. Like Also, I remember we played at Disneyland, but not in the backstage area, but like in one of the like main areas. I forget what it was called, like a pavilion.
Oh, was it near the restaurants?
Yes.
Yeah, it was near the restaurants, right? Right, like right on the end of the main street.
The center stage that's in.
I actually don't know Disneyland geography.
I think so.
Like right in front of the movie theater.
Maybe. I haven't been to Disneyland in a while.
A long time for me.
Yeah. Daniel, we went to Disneyland for like Dapper Day.
We did do Dapper Day
long time ago. That was like one of the last. No, I definitely went since then, but that was fun. One of the most memorable ones. Yeah, because that was like casual Disney. Just gonna go.
Got everything in like after 4 p.m. on Dapper Day. Pro tip: when Dapper Day comes back, that is the day to go.
That is the day to go. The fun holiday days, because you can do well, actually, I don't know if they'll let us do those dusk tickets anymore because it sounds like they're just taking away.
Yeah, that's
stuff at Disneyland recently.
Post 4 p.m.
No more
tickets.
annual pass members.
Yeah, that's true.
Annual
pass is gone.
Pass?
Yeah, they're gonna replace it with something different, but they were not really I mean, they definitely weren't making money when I was a pass holder because I got the cheapest one, and then I didn't like buy stuff every time I was there.
Oh, I did the same thing in college. I bought the cheap
Yeah.
one, and I'd
Yeah.
you just like pregame in the parking lots,
Exactly.
and then you go in until like midnight, and then you leave to go get food, and then come back. Like you never buy anything on the property.
No.
Too expensive.
Yeah, we'd always get food in Westminster.
Yeah.
And then go back. This is what you do if you're a college kid in Orange County.
So shout out to all you college kids at Irvine or Fullerton or wherever, buy the cheap pass.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can't get an annual pass, but don't buy park food.
No,
That's
don't
it. Just don't buy park food.
It's not worth it.
But that bacon wrapped turkey leg and then the pineapple ice cream, Justin.
I do love the Dole Whip.
Oh, the beignets too.
Beignets?
The beignets are bomb too. The Dole Whip
beignets are good.
The Dole Whips, yeah, that's what it was. The pineapple Dole Whips, yeah.
I feel like you have to choose a couple snacks and have those be your Disney snacks, but don't feel
like,
like
all right.
you need Disney meals. You're like, I can go get some meals off the park and then come back in.
Bring $40, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I get 2 beignets and like 1 pineapple like frosty thing, and then I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're also, it's $40.
Yeah, it's true. And then you're dehydrated, so then you have to get the really nice Dasani water bottle for like $6. Those are always the times you're like, oof. But it's true. We would do that. And then I remember they got rid of the pass I was on because it was so like, they're like, we are definitely not making money off these people. And I was grandfathered in, so I could keep renewing it at the really low price point until I eventually was like, okay, I don't live in Orange County anymore. Just gonna like end this relationship with Disneyland. And now I'm kind of like, should have gone last year, or not last year, but 2019. Not have a regular.
You got Disney Plus, you're already giving them more money than they need. Like take it, enjoy it.
It's true.
Everybody who has a Google Plus account should get 15% off an annual pass.
Oh,
Ooh, we like this. Google Plus or Disney Plus?
Disney Plus, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't know where you're getting that value from a Google Plus account, but okay.
I'm agreeing with this. I feel like there should be some sort of discount for the Disney Plus.
Well,
holders.
like I'm still not
at least,
seeing.
Like, it comes out of your annual pass fee,
That
Okay.
I'm
Though,
okay
like
with
the
that
full-on Disney annual pass. Now I think you're onto something. Or
yeah, the Disney Ultimate Pass.
the Disney Ultimate Pass.
Or it's like 10% off of food and beverages in the park if you have a Disney Plus account.
I like that too. It's what you used to get with your annual pass, but you're like, instead of that, you get Disney Plus.
But think about all the people that have to travel to Disney, who are only going to spend a couple $100 like once or twice a year, and then they won't go for another 2 years because they don't live near Disneyland, but they're still paying for Disney Plus.
And this is why I think the play is to go steal that first chair. Let's hear one more time. What do you guys got? What do you guys got on here?
How many tangents will we do in between? So are we doing a B flat or a C scale? What do you guys prefer?
I'll defer. Give it your all is all I'm saying.
Kyle, you're muted, my man.
Can I entertain our Oi Kamava request?
I'd love to hear it if you got it.
I can give him 4 notes.
Let's do it. 4 notes won't strike us. Let's do. That's amazing. Perfect.
I could do.
Someone call Tito.
But I think I played it in a different key than you, Kyle.
Kyle. Oh, it's top 2.
Or if you can match.
What's our final tune that you want us to play?
We could play along with the theme song.
We could play along with the theme song. Do we just want to like butcher the end of the theme song? Not butcher. It's beautiful music.
I know. I'm like, we'll ask the composer
Should we do the underscore?
if we have.
composer has something to admit in that he can't remember what key he wrote the theme song in at the moment. So we'll just go with
Banana, banana, banana.
You hear it again? We can just play over the electronic portion.
Go for it.
All right. I will go ahead
That's
and
my attempt.
Solid. A+.
I guess what we should do now is wrap it up here on this amazing episode of Primetime Party Time Nostalgic Middle School Band Edition. You can keep playing. Thank you, Justin and Kyle, for joining us
Thank
tonight.
you so much for having us.
Yeah, I hope you guys had fun. Hope you guys got nostalgic here. Thank you to Fen for our amazing artwork. Thank you to Justin for the theme song. Thank you to Coco in the chat as our webmaster. We're your hosts.
Yeah, Coco.
And Tracy.
Daniel, and this has been Primetime Party Time. Catch us next Monday night at 9 p.m. here on ptptshow.com, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Pretty much the day after. And that's pretty much what we got. You guys ready to play?
That's a wrap.
You guys ready to play us out? Just go all in pretty much now. You're on Primetime Party Time.
Beautiful.
I pretty much only got like the C in there. I'd be like,
I think you guys nailed that.
I'll grab the guitar. Let's see what
Okay,
we
grab
can
your
do.
guitar. Are we jamming? Should I get my trumpet?